We're live.
Are we?
Yes.
Oh.
We did it.
Took a week off because someone forgot the webcam at home.
We took a week off. Episode 11.
Episode 11. Last episode for the month of June.
Yep.
Probably. Unless we do one from the con. But I don't know what we would talk about.
Next week's not the con.
Yes. No. No.
Next week there will be one.
Actually, there will be one. We're doing Battle for Zendikar again.
Mike's Crack-A-Pack. He's trying to spite me by opening Battle for Zendikar, which makes me think that Crack-A-Pack will not just be Battle for Zendikar forever now.
It might be. No one cares, no one cares, no one cares, no one cares, no one cares. Zulaport. Wearing black, you might as well have Zulaport. Meh. Meh.
You gotta land. You got a prairie stream.
Prairie Stream's all I got.
Hey, it's a plains and an island.
This actually might go into photograph after this.
And is that the one that comes in if you have 2 or more basic lands? Yeah. We did it. We cracked the pack.
Not even like a good land out of this.
Well,
I was robbed.
not really. You knew what you were getting yourself into.
Come
But-
back next week where Davis does it.
So this week we're going to be talking about Modern Horizons spoilers.
Mythic Horizons.
Yeah, well, that might as well be
I
what the
mean,
set
it's
is.
going to be mythic, but
Mythic Horizons, because that's where all the good cards are.
Yep.
And so
a lot of heat. There's a lot of heat in this set.
he's big. He's very good cards, but
He's a very good.
I have no money.
In terms of money, we have no money.
We have no money.
Davis,
Before we get into that, Mike, did you work on anything this week?
I 3D printed a Warhound head. Found out it was much too small.
It's too small.
It's too small.
That's sad.
It's
very
a
cute.
little too short.
Well,
It's like a pug Warhound.
they don't really have like a
Pughound.
I mean, it could go with the whole thing.
It's just all like a hair too short. The width's about right, but I stretch it a little bit.
Okay. Well,
What did you work on, Davis? Nothing?
hey. Alright. I bought a starter set for Infinity. And I assembled all the models,
Oh.
okay? Which normally wouldn't be something to note, but those are pewter models, and I hated it.
It was awful, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
And you're going
It
to
was
do
awful.
all of Zayed's.
And thank you for watching our stream today. We're out. We're done.
You're done. Davis crashed his car into a bridge.
So I did that. I got the Hockey Slum. I didn't get the action pack. I got the small starter.
Yeah. Yeah, you used some of them in your RPG.
Mm-hmm.
Or
One of them. One of them. I guess we can start. We had a real small session this week.
Yeah, it was a bunch of stuff just went.
Yeah. It's really not even noteworthy to really talk about because really I had to basically just cut it short.
Yeah.
I had a lot of stuff planned, but it just it wasn't right this week. People had we didn't get started till way late, and when it did happen, people got called away, and
Yeah. Me, I got called away.
Mike's dumb.
Yeah, nothing really of note happened. We got a tracker thing that only tracks the crystal that we
Yes, you did get
are
that.
carrying. Good thing we can track it.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm sure we'll have more to talk about on the next episode.
Yeah,
We can go over it more.
it was kind of a filler week.
Yeah,
so,
we'll say we also had someone gone
yeah,
in addition to all of that happening.
correct.
But let's move on from that and just go right into the Modern Horizons 2 spoilers. So I want to say before anything, I think that this is going to be a good set. Like barring the cost, I think it's a great set.
Yeah,
Full of awesome cards, full of fun new things.
Commander Horizons 2.
Yeah, I mean, there's cards. I don't know. I don't play Modern.
I
I wouldn't be able to tell you if there's cards
There's
for Modern in
other
here.
formats that other than Commander.
Yeah, I know, it's wild. But so let's start with the this first 5 that we see here. So the GW Wizards has decided that this set, one of their themes of or sets of creatures they were gonna do is this set of 5 mythics that are all creatures, but they're all based off they're all effects that you can do without paying any mana is really the main part here. So they're all a creature that you pay mana for, but they're also has an evoke effect, which evoke says you pay the evoke cost and then it enters the battlefield and is immediately sacrificed. Is what evoke says. I'm pretty sure. So we'll let's go down the line and start. We'll start with white here since that's what's first. So Solitude. So 3 white for a 3/2 lifelink with flash. And when it enters the battlefield, up to one other target creature that exile up to one other target creature. That creature's controller gains life equal to its power. So, Swords to Plowshares on a stick. However, like I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna come out and say this right now. You're like never playing these as a creature.
No, you're always using the evoke cost.
So right, because all of them are exile whatever their color is, that color card from your hand to do their evoke effect. So, I mean, obviously, as a 5 mana 3/2 lifelink, that can. I mean, giving it flash is neat, but as a that's kind of weak. You do get to Swords to Plowshare something, but considering that's a 1 mana spell, I can't put a whole lot of value necessarily on that. However, being able to do it for 0 mana seems fairly strong, especially because it has flash. You can evoke it at any time. Not all of them. It was important to note that the red and the black ones cannot be done at instant speed. Only the blue, white, and green ones. I think it's okay. I think the decks that run Swords to Plowshares will probably run this.
Yeah, because, I need more Swords to Plowshares. Running our meta has so many. Everyone has that card. If you're running white, you have that card.
Well,
except for me. I don't own a single copy of it, and I have 2 white decks.
Well, yeah, because it's like an uncommon that's expensive enough for you to feel bad about it.
Yeah. It's not like a rare or a mythic.
Nope, it's usually like an uncommon, but it's like a $5 uncommon.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I mean, Zulaport's not much better. Zulaport's like a $2 uncommon.
Well, that's way better than $5.
Right.
All right, well then the blue one is Subtlety, and it's a 3/3 flying creature. But when it enters, choose up to 1 target creature or planeswalker spell. Its owner puts it on top or bottom of their library.
Does the player get to choose? Or do you get to choose where it goes?
The person you're targeting gets to choose. So, like, if I have a creature and you play Subtlety, I get to choose if it goes on top or on bottom.
I guess I don't.
That seems strong. It's better than a bounce.
Well, yeah, but
because keep in mind
I feel this one you probably play as a creature.
I don't know. It's 4 mana, so you use definitely more of a case to be made for playing this as a creature as opposed to like 5 mana for a 3/2 is rough. 4 mana for a 3/3 flyer still isn't good, but with an effect it might be okay.
With an effectively a bounce.
Well, it's better because like if they put it on top, then you deny them a draw, so to speak, because then they're gonna have to draw their next card by just redrawing what you put there. So that's why, and I think that's pretty strong. Or if they put it on bottom, then you know that you don't have to deal with it, whatever you bounced for a while. I think it's strong, but I don't think it's gonna be like a. Whereas Solitude, I feel like could see play in a multitude of white decks. I'm not sure that Subtlety necessarily finds its way into as many decks.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm sure a bunch of CEDH decks would probably run this card just because they're all big on how can I play cards for free or for almost free. So this is probably a good card for that, which means it's a good card. But it's just not something that like I have a deck where I'm like, man, this is an effect I really want.
It doesn't fit in any deck I run.
Yeah. again, most of the value here is coming off the fact that you can do this for free. Like, if it didn't have the evoke text, this would just be a very meh creature.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be very good at all. Grief, which is 2 and 2 black for a 3/2 menace. And when it enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an online card from it, and they discard that card.
Could be real strong in, say, what's her name from Call-Time?
Turgid?
Turgid. I think this is an auto-include.
Yeah.
Just.
I mean, this is just a good effect.
Yeah.
Like, look at someone's hand and discard a card from it.
Yeah.
I mean, non-land, but you weren't going to probably choose a land.
I mean, you're also playing black, so you're going to be making people discard cards like anyways.
Well, depending on the strategy you go with.
I can see a card.
Yeah, it's okay. Again,
I like this one better than Subtlety.
Yeah, I really like Grief. I think Grief's really cool. Even though he doesn't have Flash, you do have to do this on your turn to do this. Fury, which I think is the worst one, which is it's 3 and 2 red for a 3/3 double striker. When it enters, it deals 4 damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and/or planeswalkers. Honestly, I'm not sure. Like this definitely seems like the worst one.
Yeah, it's only 4 damage.
Mm-hmm.
If it was 4 damage to each,
well, that might be really good.
That would be really good. Yeah. However,
I feel like I'm almost like with this one, I wouldn't even want to bother evoking it. I would almost just always want to play it as the 3 mana double or the 5 mana 3/3.
See, Fury, like in my Bergie deck. I play this for free, deal 4 damage, something. Who cares? But I get a red mana. It gives me mana.
Mm-hmm. Some strategies probably care to evoke it. I'm just like, none of my decks care to.
Depending on the price, if it's.
Well, it's just like, man, is getting rid of 2 cards from my hand worth dealing 4 damage?
Yeah.
Just it probably depends. There's probably situations where yes, that would be worth it.
If you have like a dead hand or something.
Mm-hmm. And then there's Endurance, which Endurance might be the one that I would play as a creature the most. It's 3 mana, so 2 green and 1 for a 3/4 reach with Flash as well. And when it enters the battlefield, up to 1 target player puts all the cards from their graveyard on the bottom of their library in a random order. So you shuffle up your graveyard, put it on the bottom of your deck. Which, I mean, isn't necessarily good on its own, but presumably you have like a search effect or like a fetch land out or whatever, then you shuffle your deck and then it's a wash at that point. You can get those cards all back. Like, I'd be okay with paying a 3 mana 3/4 reach if it, with that. My more issue is it's like it's the one that's best costed to be played early, but it's the one with like the worst effect at the early part of the game probably.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of a conflict of design there almost, but again, probably probably a card that you would almost you're probably going to evoke rather than play.
Yeah, why wouldn't you always evoke this one? Because then it basically puts it back into your deck.
No. Your graveyard would have just Endurance there. Because it would enter the battlefield, its ability will trigger, you resolve the ability, and then it gets sacrificed after that's done. And then whatever card you exile obviously gets exiled, so you don't even get that card back. Overall, I think this set of creatures they're strong. I'm not the type of. I don't feel that I'm necessarily good enough to say whether or not these are going to be auto includes or total garbage. I know, like, I was looking at prices. I know Grief is very, very expensive. Like, they're all expensive right now because the set's not out, but Grief I think was like $50 or something like that. I expect Grief to see some play. I expect Subtlety to see some play. And I expect the black, the blue, and the whites to see play. Because those are just all effects that are just like always good. Yeah. Whereas the red and the green ones kind of have to have some build around synergy or whatever to make that work. Moving on, they have a set of 5 mythic. I guess I don't know if this is just a set or just some random mythics, but we'll They're all like different creature types. And I want to say they all care about. No, never mind. I lied. I completely lied. Whatever. We'll just go over them. So Sarah's Emissary is first. So 4 and 3 white for a 7/7 angel with flying. And when it enters, you choose a card type. You and creatures you control have protection from the chosen card type.
Sorry. It's nothing new.
I mean, it's fairly costed. It's a 7 and a 7/7. So like that, like already like not good enough to play in Commander without an effect. But like if you were drafting something like that, 7 mana 7/7 is fair.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I think most of the time you're probably gonna choose like instant or sorcery.
Yeah.
Or creature. If you choose creature, it would let you probably swing through maybe to get lethal on something.
Yeah.
It probably just depends on what the board state looks like right
exactly. It's not something. It's probably something that you want to play when you're in a state to win.
Yep. It's okay. I mean, it's too high costed for it to be what I would call a competitive card.
Yeah.
At 7 mana, that's just too much to pay for a lot of
white,
decks.
so
and in white.
You don't have ramp.
Although this is the set where white decided to get a ton of support, so maybe it sees some play. I'll throw it in my Angels deck if I get a copy.
I'm sure you will.
And then blue got Murktide Regent, which is a 5 and 2 blue for a 3/3 flying dragon. So 7 mana for a 3/3, which seems meh. But it has Delve, so you can delve away the colorless cost. And it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each instant and sorcery card exiled with it. So if you delve away instants and sorceries, it gets bigger. And whenever an instant or sorcery card leaves your graveyard, put a counter on him. So it's definitely supposed to go in like a blue Delver build.
Yeah.
Like that, it gets bigger by delving away instants and sorceries with it, and it also gets bigger if you're exiling those cards from your graveyard. I guess it says when it leaves your graveyard, so in theory, I guess if you were getting it out of your graveyard into your hand, you could also get counters for that too. But I think the idea is that you're supposed to be delving those cards away.
Yeah.
It's making him bigger and making your spells cost less. Seems okay. I mean, in theory, if you delved away 5 instants or sorceries, you paid 2 mana for an 8/8.
Yep.
2 mana 8/8 flying seems strong.
Seems good.
With the potential to get bigger if you.
Yeah. They're playing
some
like
more
a
cards.
Niv Mizzet. Yeah, you play like a Mizzet's Mastery.
Yeah.
You just cast all those instants and sorceries again.
And then big.
Real big. And you're not paying any mana for if you overlord the Mizzet's Mastery.
Not a card I'm gonna throw in my Dragon's deck. It's not the
It
type of card that synergizes with dragons. It's just it just happens to be a dragon. Yep. It's cool though.
That's definitely a card that I feel almost is better like a spell sleeve deck.
Yeah, like you could probably run it in like a lot of the new what's that Prismari. Like a lot of Prismari decks are real spell slingy. So
well, a lot of the Strixhaven decks in general are very spell slingy.
Well, yeah, but especially Prismari did a lot of that. Next is Archon of Cruelty. 6 and 2 black, so an 8 mana for a 6/6 flyer. It's already a lot to pay. But when it enters the battlefield or attacks, target opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker, discards a card, and loses 3 life. You draw a card and gain 3 life.
8 mana is a lot. Or 10 mana, I guess.
It's 8.
Or is it,
it's 6. 6 and 2 black. It's 8.
Can't see nothing. Thanks. Yeah, that's better. That's better, yeah. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's 8 mana. I mean, it's one of those things where like 8 mana can do a lot, and this creature does a lot. It probably just depends on
mana.
Casual circles. I'm sure this will be, people love playing with this. Not a competitive card, I wouldn't say. But,
Unless
fun.
you're playing something that's letting you cast cards for free.
Yeah. Fun. And then there's Ragavan, the Nimble Pilferer. A 1 mana 2/1. So strong. 1 mana 2/1 seems strong. When he deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token, and then exile the top card of that player's library, or top card of the player's library until end of turn. You can cast that card, or you can dash him for 1 in a red. And dash is right. You cast him. He gets haste until end of. He gains haste, and then at the end of the turn, he goes back to your hand.
I like him a lot.
It's a real. He's like a real disruptive card, which kind of goes with the little theme of here. He's like a monkey who just steals stuff from people. Yep. He takes some treasure from them, and also maybe can cast a spell off the deck. And the treasures, obviously, if they're decks that are out of your colors, that treasure can help you. I don't think you run this as your commander.
I think you could run a real fun commander deck around him.
You probably could. I feel like you're definitely not going to get a whole lot of value off playing other people's spells in mono red.
Yeah.
That's my issue with it, rather.
Yeah, I guess. I kind of wish he had partner.
Yeah, that would make him better.
If he had partner, that he'd be a lot better.
Yeah. But I think you can probably, I almost wonder, you could probably run this in, even though he's not a goblin, you could probably run this in some goblin strategies. And he could do some work for you. Because there's also, Dockside Extortionist can create treasures, and I think there's some other goblins who do that as well, so that you can get that fixing.
I would say if you run him, and you run, a Goldspan Dragon. Oh. Nah.
Alright.
Yeah, Chatterfang.
And then Chatterfang.
I really liked Chatterfang when I first saw him, but then the rest of the set's you want squirrels?
Yeah, there's a big squirrel theme in this set.
You want another squirrel? There's 8 squirrels.
It's called Chatterfang Squirrel General. It's like saying, yes, this should be your commander. So it's 3 mana, 2 and a green for a 3/3 Squirrel Warrior. It has Forest Walk. And if 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus that many 1/1 green squirrel tokens are created instead.
Yep.
So if you create, the idea is probably that you're also just creating squirrels. So, if you had a Deep Forest Hermit creates 4 squirrel tokens, this would make 8 squirrels.
Yep.
Or if for whatever reason you were playing something else like Rampaging Baloths, you make a beast when you play a land, and you get a squirrel.
Yep.
Then for a black, you can sacrifice X squirrels. Target creature gets +X -X until end of turn. So you can use your squirrels to kill things.
Yep.
For the people who wanted to play Squirrel Tribal, now you can.
It finally answers the question, who would win between Emrakul and 15 squirrels? The answer is 15 squirrels.
Depends on which Emrakul. The Promised End would, because it has... you could target it. The other one can't, because it has protection from colored spells.
But this isn't a spell, this is an ability.
I'd have to check on how that works.
Because it is different.
Right. But Chatterfang is a colored squirrel.
Right. But it's an ability that's targeting him.
I know. I'd have to check on that.
The answer is 15 squirrels.
They still win either way because it doesn't have indestructible. So if they just blocked it,
yeah,
they would both die. Moving on next, we have Suspend. Suspend is back in this set. With Resurgent Belief. So Suspend 2 for 1 and a white. So for those who don't know, Suspend, essentially when you play it, you pay the cost, and then you put it in exile with however many time counters the Suspend number is. So in this case 2, you'd put it with 2 time counters. Every upkeep you remove a time counter, and at 0 you get to cast the spell. So essentially you gotta wait 2 turns to play the spell after you've paid 2 for it. But what do you get for that? You return all enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield.
This seems good.
Definitely you got to build around it. Obviously, it's not just a good card, but I've thrown around the idea of doing a 5-color Gods deck. Real good in that deck.
Yep.
Real good in that deck. That's even what's on the art. The Thassa is there. She's a god, and so it's hello. Yes, play these with gods. Also, just enchantment creatures. There's some of those from Theros block and stuff, so you can do a lot of funky things with that. Suspend is a real mechanic because it's even though 2 is pretty cheap for that effect, I had to wait 2 turns to get it.
Yep.
And the issue with this sort of effect is it's you kind of want to eat your in
Just,
theory, when you
2
play this,
turns?
like you're either got all them in the graveyard and you need them now, or you're trying to play it in preparation for that. In which case, they're just gonna wait until it comes off.
Or they'll just wait and they'll be like, Bajuka Bog,
Right.
get your graveyard out of here. And now you're just like, okay.
Right. It seems okay. I don't think it's quite as good as my first impressions would make it out to be. Next card is Sveliun of Sea and Sky.
Super good.
Super good in Merfolk, yeah. It's 2 blue and 1 for a 3/4 Merfolk god. And it has indestructible as long as you control at least 2 other Merfolk. Whenever it attacks, you draw a card. And other Merfolk you control have Ward 1. I mean, it's good in a Merfolk deck.
Yep.
This is a good commander if you were going to do mono blue Merfolk.
Yep.
Maybe, well, there might be better commanders, but
I think this gets run in more so like a Tatiova Merfolk deck.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you got Merfolk, you should run it.
Yep.
I think it's really just as simple as that.
Yep. It's not to include for Merfolk.
Yeah, not much else to say. It doesn't do anything in other tribes, really. Then there's Turok, Dread Cantor. For 1 and a black, you get a 2/1 human cleric with Kicker for 2 black. Whenever an opponent discards a card, put a +1/+1 counter on him. And when he enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, target opponent discards 2 cards at random. So if you kick it, for 4 mana, you end up getting a 4/3. And they have to discard 2 cards. An opponent does. Which seems strong. It's the type of card that'll get you targeted in a commander game when you slam it down and you're like, you discard 2 cards.
Yeah.
Well, they are your enemy forever now.
They're now not your friend. No deals there.
I mean, it's this just seems like a decent black card. I don't think it's necessarily like a humans piece or whatever. I mean, it can go in a humans deck, but it's not necessarily.
This is another one I think you're gonna see like Intergrid.
Yep, Turgrid will probably run this. Anything that cares about discarding cards.
I think it's a good 99.
Yeah, you don't run this as your commander, I don't think.
No, absolutely not.
Yep. Then Imperial Recruiter, which is a reprint. That is not a new card. That is a reprint. And
so we probably don't really need to talk about it now. So. Unless you want to.
No, we probably don't. Imperial. It's a 3 mana 1/1, and when it enters, you search your library for a creature with power 2 or less and put it in your hand. It's a good card, especially in red, which doesn't have that many tutors. Moving on, it's a reprint.
It's a red tutor.
It's a red tutor. It's good. It's a good card. There was a reason that it was very expensive until it got reprinted. And now Throsta, Tempest's Roar, 10 green for a 7/7 with Trample and Haste. Very expensive. However, it costs 3 less for each other spell you cast this turn. And it has Trample, Haste, and Trample over Planeswalkers, which means if you attack a Planeswalker and you do more damage than it has loyalty, the excess damage goes to you. And it has Hexproof as long as it entered the battlefield this turn. So more than likely you'll get to attack with it.
Yep.
Unless they counter it, odds are you're not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to stop it, unless they got creatures to block with it.
That's a big boy.
Well, the idea is obviously you probably play a bunch of small spells to get its cost down, and then you play it for 2 mana. In which case, a 2 mana 7/7 that does that is really good.
Yeah. Especially you're also playing green, so you're gonna be able to pump this thing.
Yeah. Yep. Seems okay.
This is another 99.
You could probably run this in a Dinos deck. Dinos probably like this. Well, mostly just because Dinos have ways of cheating other Dinos out.
Yeah, Dinos have ways of getting Dinos for free.
Yeah, so they probably like this. Let's gives them a better way of dealing with Planeswalkers.
Yep. Dino Tribal.
Moving on, we got Nykthos, Paragon. So 4 and 2 white. For a 4/6 human soldier, enchantment creature. Whenever you gain life, you may put that many +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. Do this only once each turn. I think Kagan's Oloro deck would probably run this.
Yeah. I don't see why you wouldn't. The only issue is his gains life in increments of 1.
Well, yeah, but
So
even at 1,
you're still only getting a 1+1+1.
it's on each creature you get.
Well, I guess, yeah. That's pretty good.
And Oloro does it in 2. On his upkeep, he gets 2 life, so that's 2 counters on each creature.
That's true.
And there's definitely times where he gains more life than that. I mean, generally he wins off of the ones like that, but, you know, it's a good meme to play a Saras and then that gains him like 70 life, and then he puts 70 counters on each creature he controls. So, seems okay. Expensive. It's 6 mana, so it's expensive for that effect. It'll see some fun play. Not a competitive card though.
No.
Inevitable Betrayal, which is another suspend card. So suspend 3 for 2 blue and 1. So you put 3 turns after you cast it. Search target opponent's library for a creature card and put that card onto the battlefield under your control. This is a lot like Bribery, which is a blue card.
My thought with this
although
is
it has
like,
suspend.
my thought with this is I'm gonna be able to get rid of. I'm gonna clear my own board before you can take anything that I have.
Wait, you search the library.
Oh. No, you see, if you mill yourself out.
No, Mike. No, you just lose. I'll take that blood seal out of your deck. I'll smack you with him.
What was it? We were playing with Bobby, and he stole my Hull Breacher.
Mm-hmm.
Next turn, I played a Whelming Wave. Return everything to owner's hands. So I was like, thank you for tutoring. Thank you for tutoring out my Hull Breacher.
Epic.
It couldn't have worked out any better.
Yeah. Again, suspend makes it tough for me because they can definitely see it coming. It's not like the other versions of this where it's like it just happens.
Yeah.
They can see this coming and try to prepare for it.
Yeah, by playing their own tutors
or just hoping to draw into it or whatnot. You know, if they
like, say if you played this against me, I'd really be trying to tutor out if I was playing my Birdie.
I mean, like this would be good against my Eldrazi deck.
Yeah,
because it's just full of Titan.
This is mine now.
Guess I'll take an Ulamog. Oh, yay!
Can't wait.
Then we got Magus of the Bridge. So 3 black for a 4/4 wizard, human wizard. Whenever a non-token creature is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, create a 2/2 zombie. Whenever a creature is put into an opponent's graveyard from the battlefield, exile Magus of the Bridge.
What?
Yep. That just seems bad.
It's just bad.
Maybe I'm missing something.
No, you're not. It's bad.
I'm assuming I'm missing something.
You're not. It's bad. What?
I guess the idea is probably you play this with like a token strategy, and you just sacrifice all your tokens to make a bunch of zombies.
Well, it's a non-token.
Oh yeah, it is non-token.
That's terrible.
It just doesn't seem great. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's some combo that this is really good with or whatever, but I don't see it. It just seems meh. It seems bad.
It doesn't even seem meh.
Moving on.
What a rare. Can't wait to pull 7 of those.
Yep, can't wait it. Well, it's called Magus of the Bridge, and usually those have like a like they always connect back to a card, like that they're a creature version of. Like Magus of the Wheel is a Wheel of Fortune on a stick. So I'm wondering what card, because I don't know. I don't know what card that this is supposed to be. Is it Bridge from Below? Is that what it's supposed to be? Hold on. Bridge from Below. I think it's exactly Bridge from Below. Yep, it's exactly Bridge from Below. Bridge from Below. Which I know is a good card.
It just doesn't seem good.
Yeah, I'd have to go and look at like what the
what the play is.
What the play is with it, because I know that like I know Bridge from Below has seen some play. So.
Well, let's pick some cards here and there to talk about here since we're getting a little long-winded.
Yeah, let's pick some cards that we
first off,
particularly.
Chitter Spitter.
Oh, you like that? You want Chitter Spitter?
I love this card. Except for it's
2 and
another
a
thing.
green.
It's
At
like,
the beginning of your upkeep, you may sacrifice a token. If you do, put an acorn counter on Chitter Spitter. Squirrels you control get +1/+1 for each acorn counter on Chitter Spitter. You can create tokens to sacrifice with it.
Yep.
I mean, it goes in a Squirrels deck. Like,
yep. Well, if you're already playing
Necrogoyf.
I love Necrogoyf, but that's a reprint, isn't it?
No. Well, yeah, no, because all the reprints had to have their original set.
Yeah.
He's a Lurgoyf.
There's a few Lurgoyfs in here.
I
There's
like-
a Lurgoyf tribal spell in this.
I like Lurgoyfs. They're fun.
Isn't there only like 3?
Well, there's Tarmogoyf.
Yeah.
There's Terravor.
Right.
There's Necrogoyf.
Yeah.
There's another one.
Mm.
And like another one.
Oh, here's a good card, Davis. Damn.
Damn.
It's just damnation if you overload it.
But in white.
That's black. Or yeah. You play this in like an Orzhov deck.
I mean, it's so
Or
you
Silver
can
Quill.
so it can be destroy a creature, or Wrath of God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Braid's got a reprint.
Which is banned in Commander, so we don't need to talk about it.
We have a guy here that plays Braids.
He plays the blue braids.
Ah, right. Yep.
Esper Sentinel, everybody's creaming their jeans over Esper Sentinel here. I don't think it's that great. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's what everyone's hyping it up to be. I think it'll see a lot of play.
Yeah, probably.
But it's not the end-all, be-all that everyone's making it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
Ignoble Hierarch.
Ignoble Hierarch is just Noble Hierarch and Jund, which Noble Hierarch's a good card, so this will probably also be a good card.
Yep.
Like, I don't think I need to say a whole lot about that. Are there any of these that I really care to talk about here? Squirrel Mob. It's a big squirrel.
You know what? Yavi My Elder getting a reprint.
Yay! Because that's what we needed. These are all like uncommons.
No, there's an uncommon we need to talk about, Davis. Where is he?
What color is he?
He is a artifact.
Well, he's not part of this because these are right now.
He's an artifact creature.
Oh yeah.
You like? Ah, yes, that's who.
Is there any of these? We should talk about Garth.
Yes.
So Garth is a Wooburg, white, blue, green, black, red for a 5/5 human wizard, and he can tap, choose a card name that hasn't been chosen from among Disenchant, Brain Geyser, Terror, Shivan Dragon, Regrowth, and Black Lotus. Create a copy of the card with the chosen name. You may cast the copy. Everybody, or a lot of people I've seen are like, it's Black Lotus! Oh my god! It's the best card, Mike!
I mean, arguably, yes.
It's the best card!
Arguably, yes, it is the best card. However,
now we have to ask the question of the Commander Rules Committee of, are you allowed to have a token copy of a card that's banned in our format?
I don't think you are.
I don't know if there's a rule on it.
I don't know if there is either.
But it seems weird that it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Because, like, this card seems like it's made for Commander. Because this is not a card that you would play in, like, a modern deck or whatever.
It's too much mana.
And it's too many colors.
Yeah.
Bleh.
I'm sure there's at least 2 players in our meta that will build a Garth deck. So I feel like I don't have to.
I don't want to.
I don't really either. Because it's kind of going to do that one thing. You're going to summon it one time, you're going to get your Black Lotus, and you'll be like, ha ha ha! Then from now on, you're getting countered every single time that Garth comes onto the field.
Or it's just not that strong because you're playing a 5-color deck.
Yeah.
Because Black Lotus only gives you 1 color. It's 3 mana of 1 color, which is still strong. It's just, I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just wrong. I could be wrong. But I don't see it. I think everybody's freaking out for nothing. And I think it'll kind of just crumble away into obscurity.
Oh yes,
Asmarana Mart.
Hey, Macarena. Aye.
I don't like that.
Not good.
I don't like that.
This is the
Why?
first time you've seen this?
Yes. I heard that this was a thing, and they were like, you can't pronounce it. And I'm like, it can't be that bad. No, I was wrong. I don't want to talk about it. Are there any artifacts you care to talk about here?
Sort of Hearth and Home. Seems good.
Yeah, another sword in the sword set series. This one gives obviously pro green and white. And when it deals combat damage to a player, exile a creature you own, then search your library for a basic land card. Wait, what? It's combat to damage to the player. Exile up to one target creature you own, then search your library for a basic land card. Oh, put both cards onto the battlefield under your control, then shuffle.
Yep.
Okay, so it blinks a creature and ramps you a land.
Yep.
Okay.
Soul Talisman.
Yeah, I think it's bad.
If it was Suspend 2, a lot better.
Yeah, obviously that gets a lot better, but then it's a lot more broken.
Yep.
Cursed Totem is a Cursed Totem.
Ah, excellent.
That's another stacks piece for 2 mana. Scion of Draco. I might actually, like, if I get one, I might run it in my Dragon's deck because it's just good.
Yep. Diamond Lion doesn't seem terrible.
No, Diamond Lion I don't like. I think it does seem terrible.
But you have 3 mana of any one color.
Yeah, after discarding your hand.
Granted, you can't do anything with it.
Well, you probably can, right? Like, I'm sure there's strategies. You play Madness cards. You do whatever.
Yeah.
You make it work. I'm sure.
Activate mana abilities.
Like, Lion's Eye Diamond is a really, really good card. And a very expensive one.
Yep.
So, clearly, that on a stick is probably not that bad.
Yeah.
But I think also the best part about Lion's Eye Diamond is also that it's free, and this costs 2 mana, so... And you have to wait a turn.
Yeah.
So probably not nearly as good.
No. Because someone's like, nah, destroys your Diamond Lion.
Cauldron, come play at. It's a living weapon. 7 mana living weapon with indestructible. Equipped creature gets +5/+5 and has first strike, trample, indestructible, haste, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a creature, exile that creature. If I get it, I'll throw it in Eldrazi.
Equip 7.
Yeah, but it comes equipped. To a 0/0 germ. That's what living weapon means. So when you play it, it comes equipped to a 0/0 germ. I love the germs. It's a germ.
Yeah, there's COVID. Nettle cyst.
Nettle cyst? Oh, it's also a living weapon. That's correct. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact and/or enchantment you control.
So if you're running an artifacts deck.
Seems okay.
Which if you're doing a lot with the living weapons, you're probably running an artifacts deck anyways.
Batter Skull. Nope. We don't need to talk about this card. This card should be...
That card is going in every single deck I own once you own your Eldrazi deck.
Whenever a player casts a spell, if no colored mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. Well, bye-bye Eldrazi deck. Now it just doesn't work.
I hope it's...
I just lose the game.
I hope it is ultra cheap as well. I hope it is like a $5 card. Just, what's in that 60 card little box you have there? I'm like, all void mirrors.
I give them to every player who comes here. I give them out because Davis plays an Eldrazi deck and everyone needs a copy to run when they play Davis. That's why I hate him. Dumb. Like, my solution to this I've come to is just I run Urborg. Because then all my lands are swamps in addition to their other types. Like... And I could run... There's actually another card in here that does that same effect, but it turns them all into forests.
Yep.
And then at least I can pay colored mana for my spells.
Yep.
Which is not the greatest solution, but...
Yeah.
I can technically run it because it doesn't produce black mana.
Yeah.
It isn't a swamp on its own. Urborg just turns all lands into swamps, which includes itself.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird.
Victus Gloves.
What about them?
I don't know. They just
Artifact Landwalk. Yeah, there are artifact lands.
They're just similar to Lightning Graves. You almost have the full costume.
No. Where is he? Here
there
he
is. Yeah.
He's a common. You will have many.
I love them.
7 mana for a 4/4 guy. It's a salamander.
He's a salamander. He's a little axolotl.
But he's got affinity for artifacts, which means he costs 1 less for every artifact you have
Yep.
in play. He is not good, but we love him.
Yeah.
Hey, bottle golems. It's a nice callback to bottle gnomes. Not as cool as bottle gnomes, but
Yeah.
also kind of cute. Oh yeah, the fetch lands are getting reprinted. Yay, fetch lands. This set costs $1 million.
And shocklands.
Those aren't shocklands.
Oh, no.
Those are artifact lands, which does help with your artifact land walk card that you like.
Yeah.
Oh, Cabal Coffers. That's a good card, I think.
That is a good card, yes. It also, the artifact lands also help with summoning your salamander friend.
They do. But yeah, Yavimaya Cradle of Growth is just Urborg, but for forests.
Yep.
So, Urza's Saga is a land that is a saga.
Yep. Sure is.
You like it?
It seems okay. I don't like the sagas.
Why, you don't like sagas in general?
They're probably better in not Commander format. But in Commander, I'm just like...
This one seems really good. Like, the second one is like, meh. I probably never use the make a construct thing. But 3 basically searches you out a Soul Ring, a Mana Crypt,
Yeah.
just any one of those one mana rock, 0
But it's
1
one
mana
of those
rocks.
things, it's not indestructible.
No, it's
it's
not.
an
But it's also
enchantment.
it's an enchantment land. Yeah,
So if you can target it with stuff that targets enchantments.
you can.
Land is hard to get rid of. Enchantments, not so much.
Yeah, but if you're blowing that up, then you're
I
done.
don't want you searching for stuff.
Oh, this is the showcase variants. Yeah, because we're done with cards. They did
yeah,
these
so-
sketch things. I don't
yeah.
like them. They're dumb.
I figured you wouldn't like them.
They're dumb.
I do like the Tempest Royal.
Hey, Dakon Shadow Slayer be looking fine, and same with Grist. Like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's cool.
Actually, I really like the Chatterfang showcase. as well.
Mirari's Wake is looking sweet as well.
All these look really good. Let's look at the Sword, Hearth, and Home. That's ball. These all look good. That aren't the stupid sketch thing. Man, who cares about old borders? It's part of the reason this set's so damn expensive. Because everyone's like, ooh,
Yeah, in case okay,
Davis.
because now we're done.
old borders.
Guys, the set's $1 million, Mike.
But
It's $1 billion.
but Davis, there's old borders.
Old borders for fetch lands that never had old borders. It's such a crazy idea, Mike.
Who cares? Who cares about
The guy who made that, yeah, he got $1 billion for that idea.
Yeah, he did. He got more money than you and I will ever see. For being like, hey,
He's like, hey guys, maximum brain man here. What if we put the old borders on cards that never had them? People went crazy for Time Spiral old border. Guys, we need to do old borders.
here's my thing. In
Old border.
In Time Spiral, it works because it's like, okay, time shifted cards in Time Spiral. Yes, it did. Yes, it absolutely did.
Did it?
Yeah, I can go pull them out. I have a
No. I'm saying original Time Spiral.
Oh well, no.
Future Sight had the weird borders.
Yes. That had like yeah, because that's what my Grinning Ignis was.
Yes.
No.
But at least it sort of made sense.
Yeah, because
Okay.
Time
shifted.
Time's the theme.
Look, we're gaming, okay? Gaming.
But they're like Modern Horizons, old borders. Modern equals old. Old equals modern.
You know, it's really funny.
What's old is now new.
I did not know this until recently, but the reason that... You want to know the reason that Modern is called Modern?
Why?
This is going to make you even more mad. It's called Modern because it was made so that all the cards in the set use the new card frame. And now it's a flavor fail.
So you're telling me?
Yeah, the current card frame, you know, not the old one.
Yeah.
The reason it's called Modern, yeah, the reason it's called Modern is because all the sets in it, when it was created, used that card frame.
Uh-huh. So... So you're telling me I can't show up to a Modern game with my fully old border deck anymore.
Well, you can. They didn't like if cards had old printings from those sets, you could play with those.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea was that
You'd be using this style.
yeah, it was called modern because it was the modern card frame,
Dumb.
which is now a flavor fail on the retro border.
Yeah.
You know, I thought
I'm done. Turn it off.
turn it off. We're done. Thanks again to Turbulent Games. I mean, we say we're done, but that's because we don't have like anything else to talk about. That was it.
Yeah.
New cards. The set will be good if you can get a hold of it for a decent price.
Yeah, for not spending
Once again, thank you to Turbulent.
$5 billion.
$5 billion. Once again, thanks to Turbulent Games for giving us the space to record in. You know, and like always, support where you play. We, especially right now, the game stores really need it. We're really coming out of that, the COVID times right now, and so that they need as much support as you can just so they can get out of this and get back to normal. So, thanks again for watching. Y'all have a great day wherever you are in the world, and yeah, peace.
Later.